1 year, the mean age of an inmate on death row was 36.1 years. A sociologist wondered whether the mean age of death row inmate has changed since then. She randomly selects 39 death row inmates and finds that the mean age is 40, with a standard age of 9.9. Construct a 95% confidence interval about the mean age. What does this imply? Okay. So we look at this one here. The accepted value is that the mean age was 36.1, and the sociologist wonder it has changed. It doesn't say if it's greater than or less than. So since it's changed, it could be greater than or less than. In this case here, we have it's not equal to 36.1, which would imply that it's going to be a two-tailed test. Okay, and then they ask us to construct a 95% confidence interval about the mean. So I have that right here. Okay, so I'm using the sample mean. So using a sample mean, construct a confidence interval. So it's my sample mean there. Okay, my standard deviation, and my number of attempts. Okay, so I can open up StatCrunch. Go to stats and T-stats, and then one sample with summary. Then for my sample mean, I can put in 40. Okay, and my sample standard deviation is 9.9. And my sample size is 39. Okay, and then I select confidence interval, and it's here at 95, 0.95, and then I press compute, and it should give me the lower and the upper bounds from a confidence interval. So you can see my lower bound is at 36.79, and my upper bound is 43.21. Okay. If the confidence interval does not contain the mean age from the earlier year, I reject the null hypothesis, otherwise fail to reject. So we have our interval there. Okay. So we look at our mean. Is that within our interval here of 36.1? It's not. Okay, so we end up having to reject the null hypothesis there. It's not in the interval. You reject the norm here. Okay. And let's hit stop there. So as I said before, since 36.1 is not in the interval, we end up rejecting the null hypothesis. Since it is not in the interval, we end up rejecting the null hypothesis there.